There's some good things. There's some things obviously that need to be cleaned up. I mean, typical probably of a first game series. I mean, I think we were sharp in some areas and some other areas. Like I said, things we didn't like, but credit to them. They played good. They stuck with it for the full 60. They had some good ozone shifts. Denver made a couple big saves for them too. So yeah, I mean it was hard fought both ways, but saying that wasn't the cleanest game for sure. And both teams brought energy and emotion. Obviously, the crowd was awesome last night too. It was a fun environment to play in. So game one, and it's look forward and we move on to the next.
There's that intense environment, a lot of checking in that game. Do you feel like you guys kept your composure and were able to kind of stay with it?
Yeah, I think for the most part. I mean, it's expected. I mean, the first round and first game. I mean, you watch all the games around the league. It's no different. Just in terms of the emotion and players running around out there and trying to kind of set the tone. So we expected that, especially with there not being a home game in Vancouver for a while. Just the emotion in the building. We knew that. They're going to come out and try to set the tone and bring energy. And I think, we did a good job of keeping our emotions, within the game plan and not kind of get running around too much. But in saying that, I think there's other ways where, we can maybe, just help each other out and maybe not get put in some situations like that.
A lot has been made during the season. The fact that over the last couple of years, they brought you, McDonough, or Wiley, experienced guys. Point where you are in the playoffs right now, what's the most important thing that the guys that have been through it, like you and those two guys, what's the most important aspect that you can bring as leadership in battles? Yeah,
I mean, whether you win a game or lose a game, it's kind of on to the next game. If that's kind of the one thing I've learned over the experience. It can be a roller coaster if you let it be, but if not, I mean, that's why you have a great coaching staff, and you go over video and you kind of almost dumb the game down a little bit of certain situations or plays, things that you like or you don't like, and guys within the room just kind of keep things level-headed. If you, I'm sure Vancouver's feeling great about themselves, but they're also probably talking about the next one. We lose the first game, we're talking about the next one, so it's just kind of leaning on that experience as far as kind of next day approach. And yeah, I mean, there's obviously a lot of things that, like I said, we can tighten up a little bit, but yeah, just not get too emotional either way, whichever side you end up on it.
The fact that you like most of what you guys did, does that give you a little bit of confidence that you don't have to throw out the entire game plan, that you're close? It's just small tweaks here, small tweaks there, and if you come out with almost the same game tomorrow night, you guys will have a better result?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to have to come up with a better game for sure. I mean, they're probably feeling good about themselves and got some confidence. And, we were close, but close isn't good enough. I think we're going to have to come up with a much better effort. And, obviously it's going to be, like I said, probably an even better environment to play in. Just, the emotion, everything. It's going to be great. But, we are for sure going to have to come out, play harder and be more connected as a group out there. And it's going to be tight checking. I looked up, I think, in the third period yesterday, and there were shots for maybe 15 or something like that. So just goes to show how tight of a tight checking the series is, and chances are tough out there. But yeah, every game you got to elevate. You got to get better and better as you go. And first step obviously wasn't good enough for us yesterday, and we're going to have to elevate. And I anticipate them playing a better game as well.
What did you make of the atmosphere last night?
It was awesome. I mean. Yeah, obviously, playing in front of this fan base for a couple of years, they brought so much noise during the regular season when, the team wasn't in the playoffs and we weren't, at the top of the standings. So it was incredible last night. I mean, great atmosphere to play in as a player. Those are the moments you live for, just the emotion and the energy in the building, and you kind of feel it, throughout sort of walking around the city a little bit. It's pretty special, and yeah, credit to them. They brought a lot of emotion last night, and I think it's a special place to play, I guess. And as a visitor, we appreciate it too. It's both teams want the emotion and the crowd excitement, so hats off to them.
When they aren't cheering for you, is there a trick to channel it your own way?
Honestly, I don't even really get wrapped up in it. I mean, I think that just comes with the experience. I think a younger version of myself would kind of get a little jittery, or the heart rate would elevate a little bit. But to be honest, even during the anthem, they were fired up singing the Canadian anthem, which was pretty cool. Or before the puck even dropped, how loud they were and the towels waving. I mean, for whatever reason, I mean, heart rate doesn't really elevate in those situations, which I think is just experience. I just feel calm, and I think obviously that's part of the experience we talked about, but also we have guys that are playing their first playoff games, so everyone feels a little bit different, but yeah, there's no question the atmosphere is great.
You mentioned the number of shots. Did you feel like it was a low on the ice? Do you feel like it was a low event hockey game? Because from above, even though it might not have been a lot of shots, it felt as though it was going up and down, and there was quite a bit of action.
Well, I think there was ozone sustained both ways, but just how hard it is to get to the net. I think the guys are working hard and battling in the corners and getting the puck up top, but then guys are blocking shots, or guys are just competing so hard in the corners and make it hard to get to the front of the net. And that kind of went both ways. Obviously, they got a D-core who's bigger and makes it hard for you to get to the front of the net, and I think we take pride in that as well too, and they do a good job of getting to the net too. So I think that's, from experience, that's kind of when playoffs are won or lost, is who takes care of the front of the net and the slot, and who's able to come up with 50-50 pucks in the corner. And on top of that, it's two good goalies. So yeah, it wasn't like it was a sloppy game or game was played in the neutral zone the whole time. I think, to answer your question, it was a lot of ozone time both ways, but just goes to show you how hard it is to generate that when teams are competing that hard in front of their own goalie.